Hey, Master from BonkTable, reviewing more lists from Amulet D20. We have Neeooo42, the 7 Jotnar army. I have recently been playing something very similar, so I know how good this actually is. So first off, we have a Jotnar Satyr with an axe. By the way, if I haven't previously mentioned this, Neeooo is playing Nords and is going to be running a bunch of Jotnar. So let's get into it. Jotnar Satyr with the axe, going up to cleave 3, then cleave 2. I personally prefer the spear. The other Jotnar Satyr does have the spear. That's fine. This Satyr with the axe going up to cleave 3 is also fine. Like, the Jotnar Satyr's melee output is the exact same as a mountain Jotnar. They're both class 3, they're both 12 attacks, they both do terrifying 1, they both have cleave 2 base. It's a good offensive stat line. The thing that pushes the Satyr over the edge is all the buffs it's going to be giving and all the defensive stuff it has over the mountain Jotnar. So it's got 2 extra runes at wound 20. It's got a higher resolve at resolve 4. It's evasion 2 compared to the evasion 0. It will also be giving fearless while on zones to all the Jotnar. It'll also be giving crushing force. So within 10, all the Jotnar, including itself, will get +2 impact in brutal 1. And then I believe Lord of the Titans basically just explains how it works. It's a character monster. Blah. No one really gives a shit about that. Overall, you're going to use your Jotnar Satyr as your tank. The Mountain Jotnar is going to be flexible between your tank and your offense. They're both going to do really well, but if you need to put something more durable into a fight, you're going to lead with the Satyr. The Cleave 3 axe is going to push it over the damage output of the Jotnar Satyr. I think he's choosing one of them to have the Cleave 3 axe simply because there is some high, like a lot of high defense. You've seen the list leading up to this point. It will just help out and be really effective for that. It won't get around World Breakers, but it'll kill basically everything else. Next warband, another Satyr, another Mountain Jotnar, and a Sea Jotnar. The Sea Jotnar is kind of a tech piece, more offensively tuned. Does have good defense in the fact that it is baseline evasion 2, but it does only have 16 wounds compared to the Mountain Jotnar at its 18. They have the same clash. It does have 1 extra attack. It does have cleave 2 like the Mountain Jotnar. It is terrifying 1 like the Mountain Jotnar. It has 5 impacts compared to the Mountain Jotnar 6, but the big thing that sets it off is that it is Barrage 6, Range 8, AP 1 with Fiend Hunter, and it gets to make a free, may perform a free volley action during its activation, and may perform a volley action while in contact with the enemy. So it's not a free additional, you only still get to make 1 volley, but you get to do it for free as a 3rd action. So you can march, take aim, shoot, you can march, charge, shoot, you can shoot, clash, charge, you can shoot, charge, clash. Like, there's a ton of options and combinations with the Sea Jotnar and this ability that you're allowed to do. It also loves eating brutes and monsters, as you've seen from all the previous lists as we've done our discussion. There are a ton of brutes and monsters in Conquest currently. The Sea Jotnar, even at 240 points, is just eating good tonight no matter what. Then we get into our conning gear, who is our warlord, because the Satyrs cannot be warlords unlike the Promethean Oracle and City States. The Nords have a contract with the Jotnar that the Nords are in charge, the Jotnar are not in charge. And that's why. Because the Jotnar is the warlord, he actually gives some bonuses, or the conning gear is the warlord, he gives some bonuses to the Jotnar. These bonuses go as follow. We'll pull him up. Stalling. We are good. Change the first paragraph of Prophecy Unfulfilled faction special rule as, while an enemy regiment is currently engaged by a friendly regiment, other friendly regiments add +2 to their charge distance. This used to be non-monster. Now all the monsters get it. This will allow all the Jotnar to play off each other. You might march charge a Mountain Jotnar in there and then charge clash another Mountain Jotnar in there with that +2 movement so they can threat 10 instead of the 8 inches they normally have. One of the big issues with the Jotnar is that they have no unstoppable. So being able to get those auto-ins on the charge clash, it'll just help you out more in the future. And also extending the threat range by march charging a Mountain Jotnar and then charge clashing with another one, what's a little further behind, is all going to be good. Then we got a Steel Chosen, who has a line breaker and a 4 stance, so it's going to be 4 stands plus the conning gear for 5 stands in total. He's got Shield Biter. I don't know what tribal tactics you'd really use on these guys. I don't really see one off the top of my head. There's probably one of them that's pretty decent at this point because you're not grabbing any Bow Chosen or any other, more Steel Chosen. It's mostly, this list is designed to say, get more Jotnar on the table, and that's why you went with conning gear. I've built a couple lists like this, and they do well. So Shield Biter, the Conan Gear always dies fighting. That's kind of it. There's Clash 4, 7 attacks, cleave 1. He's going to do work, especially with his terrifying one. Nothing wrong with that. Last Jotnar we get is the Ice Jotnar. This is the most expensive Jotnar before the Cedar came out. This guy is Cleave 3, 14 attacks. That's pretty good. Clash 3, 16 wounds. Evasion 2, Defense 3, Resolve 4. Really solid defensive stat line. I think the 4 extra runes on the Cedar kind of balance this out really well. Actually, I think it's the same defensive profile. So it is less wounds than the Cedar, and also does not have Terrifying 1. However, he can cast Ice Armor to give him Defense 4. Can Ice Armor be cast on others is the next question. I haven't played with an Ice Jotnar yet, to be honest. The Ice Jotnar adds +1 defense to itself. Brimstorm infects 2 hits per success on enemy target, and in case target regiment halves its movement rounded up until the end of round. You can perform a free spellcasting action if you were a character. So you can, once again, like the Jotnar, March cast, March charge cast, charge clash cast, charge clash, whatever you want to do. Ice Armor is also really nice, getting up to defense 4. E2, D4, R4 on a monster is really good. His 14 attacks at Clash 3 and Cleave 3 is going to be doing a lot of work. Only kind of negative about him is he is Priest 5, so it's a little harder to get those spells off. Ice Armor will be affected by his own scaling, so you need additional success. So he'll need 3 successes to get Ice Armor off, unlike the regular 2. So he'll probably be mostly casting in case to have the march of various targets, and Rhymestorm to deal a bunch of damage when he gets in there. In case is range 8, though. Damn, that is not a very far range. Rhymestorm is also range 8. Much better, though. Because it's going to be doing a bunch of damage, like the same range of the Jotnar. Overall, this list is going to be doing really well. I can see it going pretty far if played well. The strength of the list is that you get to force concentrate. You could put a lot of Jotnar in a small area and also hit a lot of regiments with more Jotnar than you could with like various regiments. They also allow you to sneak through a lot of gaps and weird corners and stuff, what allows you to get more damage into certain areas. The Mountain Jotnar want to be traded and act as kind of like flex pieces between tanking and doing damage, while your Cedars want to be kind of tanking and also doing damage as well. The Spear Cedar, he wants to go sit on his own and just be like, you can't score this until I die. And also, he counts as 6 stands for the purposes of ceasing, so it's going to be really annoying getting him off. Sea Jotnar and Ice Jotnar want to be your hammers. Steel Chosen are there. I don't know if you want to sacrifice them or get damage with them. They're there mostly just to have the Conan Gear and extra points. That's why there's the 4th stand. But they're just the unlock to have the Jotnar be able to charge as they touch each other. Not touch each other. As they touch other regiments and get more Jotnar onto the problem. Overall, I think he's going to do very well. 7 Jotnar is a lot of stuff. He's got enough pieces in here to do a lot of work. He is kind of on the lower card count, though. So he's got 7 Jotnar plus another 2, so that's only 9 cards. So yes, he's probably going to get the priority roll a lot. But I also think his opponent's going to have free reign with his last activations. So if he's keeping his hammers that are designed to kill Jotnar and regiments of this type back, waiting for the end, he's going to be uncontested for quite a while. And at some point, I feel the Jotnar player is going to have to make a play to either not be stalled out on scenario or to not be boxed out and killed at his opponent's digression. So with that, I hope you do really well, Neo. I can't wait to see how you play. Right now, I am myself personally, Mass from BonkTable is going into Jotnar Nords, so I'm really excited to see how you perform at this large event with so many other fabulous players and wonderful. Let's get on to that next list.